Hi guys, welcome to IVTV. I am Yvonne for a new episode of The World Is Yours. How is it going? Guess what today's video is gonna be? The video of this week is a trip to Africa, to the motherland. I'm taking you to Luanda, the capital of Angola. And I also have a special guide for this trip who will tell us more about his country and his culture. So don't go anywhere, stay with us.
Hello everyone, my name is Paulo Figueiredo and I'm from Luanda, Angola. Luanda for me represents my origins, my roots, my childhood, all the good memories of growing up in a hot climate country in Africa. It reminds me of family, you know, the beach, cousins, parties, so many good things, Luanda. The most important thing about Luanda is our culture. I mean, we were colonized by the Portuguese. I would say the most interesting thing about Luanda is that the Portuguese, when they came here, they didn't want to leave Angola. Because if you compare with all the other countries, it took them so long to give us independence. Compared to Brazil, which they gave independence in the 16th century. Angola, they gave us independence, well, in the 19th century. So it shows that there's something special about this.
So tell me about the war that was going on in Rwanda.
With regards to the other colonies, the Portuguese, they negotiated independence, I wouldn't say easily, but in due time. But in Angola, they were taking too long. And plus, they were not treating the local population with respect, and they were being very racist, and there was segregation. And it was actually in Angola, not in Angola, but in Africa in general, but in Angola here, we started to see that we had to have our own independence from the 60s, in the 60s. And the revolt started in Malange, actually. That's why it's called 4 de Fevereiro, which is this marginal here. That's exactly when it started, the emancipations in the cotton fields in Malange. And so the Portuguese didn't want to give independence to Angola, so the Angola started to organize parties, like national parties, independence party for the independence. And so they ended up creating a lot of different parties like MPLA, which is Power Unita and stuff. So all these parties were fighting initially against the Portuguese in the 60s. It was the nationalists versus the Portuguese. The Portuguese decided that they had to leave, and so they gave us independence in 1975. From 1975, that's where we really started to have a civil war. First it was war against the colonizers, now it's against Angola, civil war. So you would see that, in fact, Angola was the building ground, became the hotspot for the Cold War, right here in Angola. This is where the United States, America, the Russians were fighting. And at the same time, we were fighting apartheid. Plus, the civil war, because whenever there's a war, there's a reason behind it. So, apart from giving independence, the Portuguese knew the potential of this country. They knew what the country had. The country has a lot of natural resources that haven't been explored yet. So you would imagine why they were fighting. They left Brazil, they left Guinea, they left Mozambique, but Angola, they were trying to keep it as much as possible because they found out in the 50s that there was already petrol here. So that's why it became a big issue. Who would govern this country, who would run this country? Because of the richness under its soil. That's why the war took 27 years. The natural resources, oil. But then there's diamonds. Angola has so many rivers. Let me tell you a story that people don't know. Do you know that the Portuguese never decided to grow wine here? Do you know why?
Why?
Because the harvest would give twice a year instead of once a year.
Wow.
So the grapes would develop so easily here that we would immediately start to challenge the Portuguese wine. So Portuguese, at the time Portugal had a dictator, Salazar, it was forbidden for them to plant grapes in other countries. That's why we lack in wine production. And Angola is the country that consumes most Portuguese wines after Portugal. You tell me why. And most of all, the Portuguese, they really got involved with the Angolan population, the Angolan women. That's the reason why we have this color, we are mixed race, because they really loved, they felt that Angola was home. You will see many monuments and buildings, they built Angola with love. Luanda used to be called the Paris of Africa in the 70s. I invited a friend from Sweden and he never came here. First of all, he decided to come he lives in London, he decided to come here for my birthday party, my 40th birthday party, because I convinced him that he will have memories that he will cherish for the rest of his life. How? I made sure that he would get in contact with nature. I took him to see the beaches, took him to see the locals in the local markets. There's not many museums, but there's some museums. You can go to many restaurants, you can go to posh restaurants, you need to go also to the local restaurants, you need to be able to buy your own fish, you can choose your fish, you can tell someone to bring you fish at your doorstep. You can really commute if you obviously need to go underground to commute, like with the locals and stuff. It's only when you start getting involved with the locals, when you lose the fear of living in this city, that you really start to appreciate it. Yes.
How friendly can they be?
Well, they can be friendly. They're more friendly when you can speak their language. That's I have to say. They're friendlier with people who speak their language. They're friendly towards the Portuguese-speaking people. But one has to understand that Angola was closed for 27 years of war, so we're only getting used to having tourists coming recently. But once you meet an Angolan, you see how friendly they can become, how you can get into their lives. And of course, music plays a very big part.
What kind of music do you guys have here?
So let me tell you two things. There's a dance called Kizomba. This dance has become a national, international. It comes from here. We like to dance as a couple. We dance as a couple. And then there's this like freestyle dance called Kuduru. Yeah, that's also comes from here. Then obviously we dance all other kinds of music. We like rock and roll, we like hip hop, we like salsa. Quite open to every kind of music. My favorite sport is, I love the beach. So for me, in Luanda, if you say the city center, obviously it's Ilha de Luanda. But then there are some spots that I like. Ilha de Luanda, the Marginal. The first thing you arrive when you land in Luanda airport, 4 February, you should head straight to the Marginal and then straight to Ilha, grab yourself a glass of beer, order some prawns, some crab, and then you know you're in Luanda. This is what you have to do. Luanda attracts people for, apart from business, it's a country that is quite laid back, people are quite friendly. We love our music, we love our dance, fun, sunny, and family. Here, you really don't, you call your friend if you need a lift, and he can help you out. Here, we give each other a hand. I mean, if you're really in trouble, you're permitted to knock your neighbor and say, I need your help now. And your neighbor is nearly obliged to help you, unless he really can't help you. But if I have a problem in the building, it's our problem. It's not my problem, it's our problem as a general. So we help each other out, and there's always a helping hand. In Angola, especially in Luanda, once you find your way, I mean, once you're as long as you don't expose too many richness, like watches and stuff, you can really get involved and discover things by yourself.
Thank you so much, Mr. Paulo, for sharing with us the story of your wonderful country and your culture. And guys, I hope you did enjoy the video, and I hope this video made you to know more about Luanda. And I hope this video made you want to discover this country by yourself. As for me, I had the best time of my life, and I will definitely go back there again. The Angolese are very friendly and welcoming. Obrigada, meus amigos. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and share the link. And of course, the world is ours. Até logo. Peace.